All right, here we go. Got some gameplay today with Purple Doffy versus Ace. And this game was a heavyweight showdown. It had a crazy finish. I think at one point our opponent had 3 new gates on the board. Let's dive straight into it. Speed is on 1.5x. We may pause at times to break some things down, but here we go. And our opponent gets to choose the order. Our opponent chooses to go second. We keep our opening hand. We start our first turn playing a Dellinger on the board, and we pass. So our ace opponent going second definitely prefers the curve so they can get their 8 cost event to play their new gates. They start their turn by playing a 1 cost Ace, Sabo, and Luffy past the turn. We start our turn with a 6k swing at lead, just poking the lead. They counter out with a 1k counter. We go ahead and play a Sugar, run a top 5 search. We go ahead and grab a Virgo and pass the turn. All right. Our opponent starts off just attaching some Dawn and swinging into our Sugar. They KO it. They swing an 8k with their leader. We utilize leader ability to redirect the attack into our Dellinger. We get to ramp a Dawn and then on KO do a top 5 search. We grab another Dellinger from that search. Our opponent goes ahead and passes the turn, and we got to decide here, do we swing in at lead? And we do. We swing in at lead, so we don't worry about their Ace, Sabo, Luffy on the board quite yet. We're just trying to put the pressure on our opponent's life as early as we can, especially as this Ace player gets into their late game. We know they're going to have a very powerful board. Okay, our opponent counters out of that life. We go ahead and play our 4 cost Sugar. We get to ramp 1 Dawn, and with that last Dawn, we play a Dellinger. We ramp up to 5 Dawn. We have a target to redirect an attack into. Let's see what our Ace opponent will do next. All right, they play a Yamato right on cue. They attach a Dawn to their lead. They go ahead and swing 7 at lead, and we redirect that attack into our Sugar so that we can play our Virgo out right away. So that is going to push us back in Dawn. We now have 7 Dawn, but we get our Virgo on the board. Our opponent ends their turn with an Ezo. They do a top 5 search and pass the turn. Let's see what we decide to do next. 7 Dawn turn for us now. We go ahead and play a Sugar. We do a top 5 search. We're looking for another 5 cost body. And we grab a Monet. Very clutch card to grab on this turn since we'll be able to play it and ramp a Dawn. We'll see if that's what we decide to do. Or maybe we'll go with the Baby 5 for a little bit of extra Dawn power. No, we go ahead and play the Monet. We get to ramp a Dawn, and we attach that Dawn and swing 6 at lead. 6 at 6. Our opponent counters out with a 1k. And we go ahead and pass the turn, leaving our Virgo standing. We don't want our Virgo to be too vulnerable to our opponent's attacks. We definitely want to save it for its board protection. They go ahead and swing at our Sugar again with their Ace, Sabo, Luffy. The Sugar gets KO'd. And there it is, the 8 cost event to play the first Edward New Gates. Hits the board. Our opponent does pick up a life with the event, so they're down to 2 life. They attach 2 Dawn to lead and 2 Dawn to Yamato. They swing 8 at lead with their Yamato. 8 at 5. We redirect the attack into our Dellinger. We get to ramp a Dawn and do a top 5 search. We grab another Virgo. We grab another Virgo with the search. Could be another big body to get on the board. They swing 10k at lead. We go ahead and take that life. The first life that we have taken. Our opponent goes ahead and passes the turn. We start our turn with our 8 cost Doffy and then slam a second Virgo on the board right away. So that's going to allow us to now swing with the Virgo and then put a Dawn, a rested Dawn back into our Dawn deck if we want to utilize its win attacking ability. I think we're considering it here. Okay, we go ahead and attach 1 Dawn first to make it an 8,000 body. We do utilize the win attacking to make their Yamato a 4,000 power character. We're swinging 8,000 at their 4,000 power Yamato, trying to clear a body off the board. We also have our Monet to swing with. We have our leader to swing with, and 1 more Dawn. They block out of that first attack. They block out of our 8k swing with the new gate. We swing 6k at the Yamato. Looks like our opponent uses leader ability. They ditch a card from hand and use a 1k counter to protect the Yamato. We swing with leader, 6k at the Yamato, and that's going to get the KO. Very good. So we're able to get some card resources out of our opponent's hand, get the Yamato off the board, but it took all of our characters swinging to get the job done. We go ahead and pass the turn. So 10 Dawn turn for our opponent. And now I'm thinking it probably would have been a good idea to swing into that Ace Sabo Luffy early in the game, because now our opponent goes ahead and utilizes it to give our Monet minus 3,000 power. It's going to be tough for us to save the Monet this turn. We let it go. However, we get to utilize the Monet on KO effect to draw 2, trash 1, and then gain 2 Dawn. We ramp 2 Dawn. Our opponent gets a second Newgate on the board. And they go ahead and pick up another life with their events. So our opponent is being a bit aggressive with their events, picking up their life. But let's just take a quick pause and a quick look at what just happened. Our opponent picked up an event, so their leader is up to 8,000 power. They attach 2 Dawn to their Newgate, and they've swung in the Newgate, swung at our Virgo, and how did we counter out of that? So we utilize leader ability to redirect the attack into our leader. Let's break that down. With Doflamingo, one of our powerful defensive options is to redirect an attack away from our characters and take it into our life. We take a life, but we protect our board, and our Virgo's board removal prevention abilities. Having 2 of those is just extra strong at protecting our board from cards like Jozu or Atmos or Red Rock. Let's keep it going. Okay, our opponent gets an Ezo on the board, passes the turn. And things are starting to get quite heavy. As we have 3 life, our opponent down to 1 life, but they have 2 Newgates on the board. Their leader is an 8,000 power leader. We have 2 Virgos and our 8-cost Doffy on the board. Let's see what we do next. We are putting a lot of thought into this turn. We do have to be careful as our opponent starts developing a very large board. We go ahead and start with the 8K swing with our Virgo. Just 8 at lead, 8 at 8. Okay, they start off with their Ezo. They get to cycle 1 card, draw 1, trash 1. Okay, they go ahead and counter out with a 1K counter. Okay, and we go ahead and swing with our Doffy. We attach a Dawn. We swing 10K at their leader, 10 at 8. And they block out of that attack with their Newgate. So both their Newgates are down. We swing in another 8 with our Virgo at lead, just trying to put the pressure on our opponent. Will they counter out? They do counter out, so they're down to 4 cards left in hand. We still have our leader standing. Let's see what we do with the rest of our turn. So we decide to actually pass the turn with the rest of our Dawn standing. We leave all of our Dawn standing, pass the turn, and our ace opponent plays a 3rd Newgate on the board and uses their counter event to pick up their last life. They give their leader plus 2,000, they attach 2 Dawn to one of their Newgates, and they start swinging in heavy. So first attack, 10,000 coming in at our Virgo. Okay, and we go ahead and use a slow beam. We're going to be able to rest one of their Newgates. We use a second slow beam. And we use a 3rd slow beam to rest all 3 of their Newgates. That was a 3 slow beam play. Our opponent has to end their turn just playing an Uta blocker. They pass the turn, and we're free with only an Uta to defend themselves, 4 cards in hand. We are swinging all out here. They counter out with a 1K counter there. Their leader is an 8,000 power leader. It's going to be hard to overcome. We swing 8 with our other Virgo. They still have the Uta, but our opponent concedes, and Purple Doffy goes for lethal, swinging against our ace opponents. Crazy matchup, crazy finish, and I think our opponent may have been a bit too aggressive with their 8-cost events, choosing to pick up each life to power up their leader. Ultimately, it left them too vulnerable in the end as we swung in at their life, but definitely a heavyweight matchup. We were able to use 3 slow beams on 1 attack. Great game overall, though. GG's to our opponent. We'll be back with another one. Peace.